Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the GSMC Golf Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Gareth McDaniel, and we have a great show as always for you guys today as we're talking Travelers Championship. It's Scottie Scheffler. A lot of talk on him is going to be today as he's having such a fantastic and memorable year. And we're just going to talk about, in the first segment, of course, his win this past weekend. And then in the fourth segment, we're going to be talking about his money earnings for the year and the records that he is setting with all of that. Our second segment of the night, we'll be talking about the rest of the leaderboard at the Travelers Championship and superlatives from our eighth and final signature event of the year. Our third segment, we'll be talking about Live Golf Nashville, look at the updated standings from Live Golf, and look at who were the biggest names to do well there. And then in our fifth and final segment of the night, we're going to get into my top 10 power rankings as I do about once a month. On here on the GSMC Golf Podcast, just keeping you guys up to date on who's playing the best golf as of late. These are more reactive than they are, just set in stone best golfers in the world. But they move a lot more than the official World Golf Rankings, and that's why I do them compared to just sharing the official World Golf Rankings. But before we get into all that, guys, as always, if you would like to become a bigger part of the show, help out the creators here at the GSMC Sports Network in any way possible, use the tips and donations link at gsmcspodcast.net. You could put a question or a comment on there as well, and it will show up on the screen here, and I'll get to read it out loud live for you on air. So as always, let's just get into this first segment of the night, talking about Scottie's win at the Travelers Championship. This is the eighth and final signature event of the year, meaning Scottie winning this is his fourth signature of the year. Absolutely unprecedented stuff here, and he kind of guarantees that first spot in the Comcast Business Top 10 and guarantees that two-stroke lead in the FedEx Cup Championship. We'll talk about that more in the fourth segment as that does tie into everything that we have talking about in there. But for this tournament alone, we're going to look at the scorecard as we always do. He got off to a fantastic start, as he's grown accustomed to in these tournaments. 5 under in the first round, put his name right there on that leaderboard to start out. It was 3 birdies on 2, 3, and 4. 250 drive on 2, gets it to about 90-yard shot onto the green, and then when he's on the green, sinks in a pretty long putt for his first birdie of the weekend. He's able to then have a fantastic green shot in on the par 4 third hole. And then on the fourth hole, he has a 315-yard driver. He then takes it 170 and is able to get it down for the birdie as well. Playing really well on these par 4s today. Messed up a little bit on the par 5. He kind of duffs his second shot. He kind of duffs his second shot a little bit as he did try to lay up, it looks like, on this hole, and then has to go up and down scramble for a 6 there. But got it right back on 13 with an eagle, 283, 256, and then left him about 5 feet from the pin, and that's how you end up with an eagle on a par 5. It was the easiest hole in the golf course, was 13 throughout the weekend, and that's one to keep an eye out for Scottie Scheffler, and then was able to birdie the 14th as well, off the back of a 340-yard drive, one of the longest drives I've ever seen Scottie have on a golf course. So very impressive, got it right to the front of that fairway, and is able to was able to get it down for the birdie, and then pars the rest of the way to finish 5 under. Has an even better Friday round 2, birdies hole 2 again, plays great on the par 5 13th, does better on the par 5 6th as he does a different approach than he did on round 1. He went driver, probably 3 wood for 260, maybe 5 wood for 260, and is able to 2-putt it for the birdie on 6. Got on the green in 2. Very impressive stuff there from Scottie Scheffler. Gets his first birdie on a par 3 of the weekend on 8th. And then on the back 9, it's a bogey-free card on the back 9, and it's 4 birdies, and it's just impressive play for Scottie Scheffler. Keeps him into contention. Then when we went into the weekend, this is when he really stepped up his game. Goes 6 under on Saturday. Got him to 17 under on the weekend, I believe. Yeah, I believe he was at 17 under on the weekend after Saturday. Put himself right there in contention. It was him and Tom Kim up at the top of the leaderboard. We'll talk about Tom Kim more in that second segment because, man, that guy had a fantastic day, weekend here and just didn't get the end product, losing out to his good buddy. But on round 3, he does birdie hole 2 again. This was the common theme for Scottie. He got out to a great start all 3 days on hole 2, and on round 4 is when he didn't birdie hole 2, and that was a little bit of a shock, but it was still fine for him. He birdies 5, another birdie on a par 3, birdies 8, another birdie on a par 3. Very difficult to do on this golf course, as those par 3s played as some of the more difficult holes on the golf course, but able to get the birdies there. And then he makes up for a bogey on 11 on 13, as he just had fantastic play on 13 throughout the entire weekend. He was 5 under on that hole throughout the weekend, so very impressive stuff there. He does bogey 14 after he sends his driver completely OB, just completely sliced this one. Something we really don't see from Scottie Scheffler too often, but makes up for it immediately with 4 birdies in a row to close out his day, absolutely attacking the top of the leaderboard on the back half of his day, or on the back 4 holes of his day. Finishes 6 under, a very impressive round 3 Saturday, and then on Sunday was able to just play good enough to force a playoff hole against Tom Kim. Doesn't get the birdie on 2, but does on 6, does on 13. 7 was, I think this is the first time he birdied 7 this entire weekend, after a 180 iron shot that got him about 5 feet of the pin. This guy's irons were insane for another weekend. He is the best iron guy on tour. Leads the field in greens and regulation. Leads the field in proximity to the pin. Leads the field in strokes gained on approach as well. So Scottie Scheffler he has the best irons on tour, and he proves it every single week. But 13, 14, 15 is a stretch of birdies, and then he just pars the playoff hole, if I'm not mistaken. He does just par the playoff hole, and that was good enough to take home the 700 FedEx Cup points, take home the $3.6 million in earnings that he got from winning another signature event. This is now his 4th signature event that he has won on the year. Very, very impressive stuff here for Scottie at the Travelers at TPC River Highlands in Connecticut. Played as an easier golf course this weekend. We did see Tom Kim play fantastic golf, but not able to get it done. As Scottie Scheffler, just consistent play. I mean, he goes 60. What does he go? 65, 64, 64, 65. That's how you get it done. Other guys like Tom Kim, 62, 65, 65, 66. And Tom Hoagie, 69, 63, 66, 62. Just consistent play really is how you win on tour. And Scottie Scheffler shows that every single weekend. This guy does not have too many scorecards in the 70 for the entire year. And he has now won his 6th tour event in a year. This is the first time since Arnold Palmer in 1962 for somebody to win 6 tour events before the month of July. This is only I think he's one of only 3 people that have won, maybe one of only 4 people. I don't know if Phil Mickelson did it, but won 6 or more tour events on a season in the 21st century. Tiger Woods has done it an insane amount of time. BJ Singh won 9 times in 2004, and it's just some very, very impressive golf from the official world golf #1, Scottie Scheffler here. This entire year has been, this entire kind of 2-year run for Scottie Scheffler has been something of a dream. Just so impressive what he's been able to do these last 2 years. He set the record for total money won on tour the last 3 years straight, and that's how you do it. You get it done here at the signature events, winning $3.6 million. That's how you get a lot of money on tour. For Scottie Scheffler, he's playing on the back of just the best. He is the best iron player on tour by a wide margin, and that's where he gains so many strokes. His strokes gained on approach leads the field by like a stroke per round, and that says something. His driver also is so accurate. He gained like 10% in accuracy from last year, did Scottie Scheffler, on his driver, which is an insane jump for a guy that, maybe one of his fault is sometimes he leaves it in that left rough a little bit too much. And then his putter's been working as well. I think he was top 10 in putting again this weekend, as he just kind of has grown accustomed to, as I've seen him become top 10 in strokes gained putting for many events now. And this was the problem for him. Actually, let me make sure. I'm going to fact check myself here. Let me make sure I'm not spewing baloney. Maybe I am. He was 16th in strokes gained putting, which, if you look at Scottie Scheffler, that is the one area that has always been his downfall, was he is not the best putter. And now he's able to say that, hey, I fixed that part of my game. I'm 16th in this field in signature event in strokes gained putting. I am a plus putter now in terms of the field. Just looking at Scottie Scheffler's tour profile and looking at the polygon on the PGAtour.com, it's some insane stuff. This is by far the widest polygon that there is today. One of the widest ones I've seen, ever. His strokes gained on approach is first. Strokes gained off the tee is third. Strokes gained total is first. Strokes gained around the green is ninth. His strokes gained putting is 80th, but he still gains strokes on the field in putting. He's plus .037 in strokes gained putting, which is still very impressive, and he just gets better and better with it every single weekend he plays, every single tournament he's in. He gains so much more just that repetition with it. This guy's 28 years old. He has been fantastic for so long. We're seeing a dynasty in professional golf right here, and it's Scottie Scheffler. If he's able to go out and win the Open Championship later this year, winning 2 majors, we're having conversations about this being the best year anybody's had on tour since 2000 Tiger Woods, and already people are comparing his 2000 to 2000 Tiger Woods. Through July, both of them have pretty similar records. However, Tiger Woods did he did win 3 majors that year, so there's where Scottie Scheffler has only won 1. So reeling it back on that conversation a little bit, but Scottie Scheffler, such a fantastic season, such a fantastic year. He now turns the page. I don't believe he's playing in the Rocket Mortgage or the John Deere Classic. When is the next time we would see Scottie Scheffler? Let me see. Maybe probably the Genesis Scottish Open. Usually guys like playing at the Genesis Scottish Open and getting accustomed to the to the golf game in overseas in Scotland or England, and then they do play the Open Championship this year in Scotland as well. So being able to get that round in Scotland under their belts the week prior to the Open Championship is always good for them. So that's probably the next time we're going to see him. I don't expect him to be at the John Deere Classic, and I know he is not in the field for the Rocket Mortgage. So with all that being said, it's a fantastic season for Scottie Scheffler. That's our first segment wrapped up. When I come back, we'll be talking about the rest of the leaderboards and superlatives from the Travelers Championship, our 8th and final signature event on the year.